Good evening. Hope your day has been well. I had Rotary today. Monday is Rotary Day, so that's always enjoyable. Now get to sing a few songs. How about this one by Richard Thompson called 1952 Vincent Black Lightning? Says Red Molly to James, well, that's a fine motorbike. A girl could feel special on any such like. Says James to Red Molly, my hat's off to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning 1952. And I seen you on the corners and cafes, it seems. Red hair and black leather, my favorite color scheme. And he pulled her on behind, and down to Box Hill they did ride. Said James to Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand, but I tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. For I've fought with the law since I was 17. I've robbed many men to get my Vincent machine. Now I'm 21 years, I might make 22. I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, then I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Come down, Red Molly, called Sergeant McQuaid, for they taken young James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun blast hit his chest, left nothing inside. Come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When she came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road. He was running out of breath. But he smiled to see her cry and said, I'll give you my Vincent to ride. Said James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Now Nortons and Indians and Greaveses won't do. Oh, they don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. Well, he reached for her hand and he slipped her the keys. He said, I got no further use for these. I see angels on aerials in leather and chrome swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. All righty. How about I'm thinking maybe Big Gun. Big Iron, not Big Gun. Big Iron. Sort of a folk song. To the town of Aguafria rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip, for the stranger there among him had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and those many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24. And the notches on his pistol numbered 1 and 19 more. 1 and 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came there to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry. Men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him. 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath, for they knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the Ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fatly ripped, and the Ranger's aim was deadly with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment, and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, when he tried to match the Ranger with a big iron on his hip. How about Big Bad John? A story about maybe making friends with people you work with. Maybe one day they're going to save your ass. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad John. Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245. Kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad John. Nobody seemed to know where John called home. He just drifted into town and kind of stayed all alone. He didn't say much, kind of quiet and shy, and if you spoke at all, you just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got in a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Mrs. Louisiana fella to the promised land. Big John. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad John. Then came the day at the bottom of the mountain when a timber cracked and men started crying. Miners were Miners were praying and hearts beat fast, and everybody thought they'd breathe their last except John. Out of the smoke of this mountain-made hell walked a giant of a mountain that the miners knew well, grabbed a sagging timber and gave out with a groan, and like a giant oak tree just stood there alone. Big John. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad John. And with all of his strength, he gave a mighty shove, and a miner yelled out, "There's a light up above." And 20 men scrambled from a would-be grave. Now there's only one left down there to save, Big John. With jacks and timbers, they started back down. Then came that rumble way down in the ground. And smoke and gas belched out of that mine, and everybody knew it was the end of the line for Big John. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad John. Now they never reopened that worthless pit. They just placed a marble stand in front of it. These few words are written on this stand. At the bottom of this mine lies a big, big man. Big John, Big Bad John. Big John, Big Bad Joan. How about a little blue collar? I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar, like my dad and granddad. I'm gonna follow. Ain't no money here. You gotta earn every dollar. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar. My daddy was a fireman on a locomotive train, shoveled coal to the furnace to generate the steam. Out to Pictou Harbor from the collar is mine, along that tramway line. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar, like my dad and granddad. I'm gonna follow. There's no money here. You gotta earn every dollar. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar. My daddy was a farmer with acres of land. He cleared all the fields with a horse in his hands. That pile of stones at the section's edge stands as his monument. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar, like my dad and granddad. I'm gonna follow. There's no money here. You gotta earn every dollar. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar. My daddy was a lumberman in a shanty town, put his axe to the pines, and then he chopped 'em down. He floated 'em down the Miramichi till he rode 'em to that Chatham sawmill. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar, like my dad and granddad. I'm gonna follow. There's no money here. You gotta earn every dollar. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar. I wasn't born blue blood. I was born blue collar. How about what's it called? Band of Heathens. Let your heart not be troubled. When you think you've seen it all, through the tears in your eyes, your head hanging low, the moon on the rise. Well, I think of you, yeah, I pray for you. May your days pass like Sundays, may your nights lay you down. Let your heart not be troubled. Cast your doubts to the wind. Lay your chains in the rubble. Let your heart not be troubled. Let your heart not be troubled. Let your heart not be troubled anymore. Well, your bed sheets grow cold every now and again. Each stone in the road, a place where we've been. But where are we now? Tell me, where are we now? Lay your dreams on my pillow. We'll get there somehow. Let your heart not be troubled. Cast your doubts to the wind. Lay your chains in the rubble. Let your heart not be troubled. Let your heart not be troubled. Let your heart not be troubled anymore. Ooh, let's do a little bit by Mavis Staples, the best singer in the world. This life surrounds you. Guns are loaded. This kind of tension, hard not to notice. Do what you're told. Gotta keep your eyes wide on this long, narrow road. Little bit too high, little bit too low. Get a little bit out of line. My baby won't make it home. A poor kid, they caught him without his license. That ain't why they shot him. They said whole life's hard not to notice. Pay it for us. Little bit too high, little bit too low. And my baby won't make it home. You feel surrounded. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're confounded. What is there to do? Little bit from you, little bit from me. Simple as it gets. We set each other free. Little bit from you, little bit from me. Simple as it gets. We set each other free. Little bit from you, little bit from me. Simple as it gets. We set each other free. Little bit. Okay, how about a little Hank Williams, Lonesome Whistle Blow? I was riding up a nine, heading south from Caroline. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. Got in trouble, had to roam, left my gal and left my home. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. And just a kid acting smart, I went and broke my darling's heart. I guess I was too young to know. They took me off the Georgia main, locked me to a ball and chain. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. All alone, I bear the shame. I'm a number, not a name. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. All I do is sit and cry when that evening train goes by. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. I'll be locked here in this cell until my body's just a shell and my hair turns whiter than snow. I'll never see that gal of mine. Lord, I'm in Georgia doing time. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. How about Long Black Veil? 10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, someone was killed neath the town hall light. There were few at the scene, but they all agreed that the slayer who ran looked a lot like me. The judge said, "Son, what is your alibi? If you were somewhere else, then you won't have to die." I spoke not a word, though it meant my life, for I'd been in the arms of my best friend's wife. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Well, the scaffold is high and eternity's near. She stood in the crowd and shed not a tear. But late at night, when the north wind blows in a long black veil, she cries over my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. How about a little resonate? Do you hear the sound in the trembling ground, in the air? The wait so long for the soul keepsake of an old heartache is a whisper, an echo, a song. I find my way back home by the birds and bones, by the westbound sun, to a place I'm known. The streets will remember even if I don't. I'll find my way back home. Now a thorn finds place in a torn shoelace, as green entwines the night, and the hymnal freights resonate. Lead me on by sweet starlight. I find my way back home by the woods and moans, by a promise made and a promise owed. As gravity pulls from a moonlit road, I'll find my way back home. I'll find my way back home. I'll find my way home. How about a little John Fogerty? Someone told me long ago there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Yesterday and days before, sun is cold and rain is hot. I know, been that way for all my time. Till forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. I know, I can't stop, I wonder. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? How many times have you heard someone say, if I had if I had his money, I would do things my way. But little they know that it's so hard to find one rich man in 10 with a satisfied mind. Once I was waiting in fortune and fame, everything that I dreamed of to get a start in life's game. Then suddenly it happened. I lost every dime, but I'm richer by far with a satisfied mind. Money can buy back your youth when you're old, or a friend when you're lonely, or love that's grown cold. The wealthiest person is a pauper at times compared to the man with a satisfied mind. When my life is over and my days have run out, my friends and my loved ones I'll leave, there's no doubt. But one thing's for certain, when it comes my time, I'll leave this old world with a satisfied mind. Yes, one thing, one thing's for certain, when it comes my time, I'll leave this old world with a satisfied mind. All righty. That was fun. Well, maybe not. How about Ride Captain Ride? 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay, rolled over the ship, and here's what they had to say. We're calling everyone to ride along to another shore. We can laugh our lives away and be free once more. But no one heard them calling, no one came at all, 'cause they were too busy watching those old raindrops fall as the storm was blowing out on the peaceful sea. 73 men riding off into history. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mistress ship. Be amazed at the friends you have here on your trip. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mistress ship, on your way to a world that others might have missed. 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay. got off of that ship, and here's what they had to say. We're calling everyone to ride along to another shore. We can laugh our lives away and be free once more. But no one came in at all. No one came at all, 'cause they were too busy watching them old raindrops fall. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship on your way to a world that others might have missed. Ride, Captain, ride upon your mystery ship. Be amazed at the friends you have here on your trip. How about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald? The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and crew was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. And later that night, when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they been feeling? The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and a wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late, and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. When supper time came, the old cook come on deck saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed ya." At 7 p.m., the main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up, or they might have capsized. They might have broke deep and took water. All that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther down below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early. All righty. Thank you. See you.